We natively integrated GoHighLevel with LinkedIn outreach and cold email, and
That's
the
amazing.
conversation replies go right into the conversation stream.
Hey, everybody. I am excited to bring to you today two very, very smart and talented people. This is Bryan Higgins and Ivan Zeminski from AI Outreach Systems. Actually, it's white label. So AI white label outreach systems. I may have butchered that. I'm going to let them tell you all about it, but I've known Ivan now for about 3 or 4 years in the high level space, and he's a super talented guy. And has done some amazing things with big corporate companies. And what they've learned from using AI and working from these big corporate companies, they now are bringing it into the high level community, and you are going to find it extremely beneficial. So without further ado, Bryan, Ivan, how you doing, guys? Welcome to the podcast.
Good.
Hey, thanks, Dar. Appreciate it.
So,
So,
I'm not
quick.
gonna. I was gonna say I'm just gonna kind of turn it over to you all, and you can all just tell people what's going on, and I'll just like throw in some questions here and there that I think that people may want to ask.
Yeah, makes sense. So, for your audience, my name is Ivan. I am based out of New Jersey here, and I have been building and scaling businesses for over 20 years now. It's gone darn fast, let me tell you. And it's
Yeah,
been a rocky road too, I'll tell you. Yeah. When we first started out, we were knocking on doors. Brian's been in sales quite some time, so you can probably relate to this. We would knock on doors and smile and dial. That's the way it's done. So we've been around way before AI was even a buzzword. And
yeah.
I consider myself blessed that we're in this era of AI. And I believe AI is just leveling the playing field, for folks now. So super excited to get into the training. Yeah.
And Bryan, you want to tell everyone about yourself?
Yeah, great. And Dar, thank you for having us. My,
Yeah,
my name is Bryan Higgins. I'm based out of Denver, Colorado. I've been in B2B sales for over 20 years. Everything from a direct sales to a leadership position. And Ivan and I'll talk about our agency in a little bit, but we ultimately started as AI was really going commercial. We've always done automations, and we love getting results for people and driving that bottom line.
I love it. Well, let's just jump right in and tell them what you do, and whatever secret
Sure.
sauce you can reveal.
We get all the sauce, guys, all the
Yeah,
sauce. So stop what you're doing. If you're driving, pull over. Okay.
yeah,
Turn the TV off, right? Tune in because we're going to lay the sauce. We're not going to hold anything back, right? We don't have any secret sauce. We're not going to share, for your audience. We want everybody to benefit. I believe in abundance. I believe there's plenty of business for everyone out there.
yeah.
I just want to start with saying that, Bryan and I have struggled in the agency space. We started just like a lot of folks that are out there and go high level. And, it was very difficult. For many years, we struggled, and it seemed to be we were in a constant cycle of getting clients, fulfilling clients. So we'd go fulfill the clients, and then our pipeline would dry up. Okay.
Mhm.
And it was a self-perpetuating cycle. So everything that we've learned and condensed into this system is born out of being in the trenches, making those mistakes over and over again. It felt like kind of a yo-yo for many years. So we've systemized, we have a saying, right? We want to help people with their systems. We want to help systemize growth. That's the important thing. How can you systemize the growth so you can focus on the fulfillment and have the growth kind of, essentially on autopilot, you know?
Yeah, it's true. And
Um,
it's interesting. You mentioned this, we're lucky to be alive during this time. And I couldn't agree more. Each of us were around when the internet came to be, when dial up came to be, when websites and email and online purchasing came to be. And I think we're at a point now where AI is the biggest revolution since the internet itself, and the people who can harness it to become more efficient, more profitable, those are the people who are really going to leapfrog ahead. And the stuff that you all are doing here, combined with just the business lessons that you've learned over the many, many years, um, people are really going to benefit from that. So I'm excited to hear what you have to say.
yeah, we're super excited to share with your audience. We're going to show you how to fill your pipeline because the most important thing in business is having that pipeline and ultimately selling them, right? I mean, if there's no sales, there's no business. Okay. And I think a lot of people forget about that. They focus on the, hey, I set the systems up, I mowed the grass, my office paint looks great, right? But if you have
Yeah.
no customers, you have no business, right? I mean,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So, but not only are we going to spill the secret sauce on how we do that, we're also going to give your listeners the unique opportunity to create a profit center like we've done for our clients, give them a way to fill their pipelines. So it's
Okay.
it's a full circle, right? So that's where we designed this system to solve problems that we had internally.
Yeah.
All right. So we know because we've been there, we've experienced it. I credit Bryan for developing the system. I basically was, an ear to listen and give him my thoughts. But
Yeah.
Bryan is really the creator of the system, so he's gonna take over and introduce you guys to the system. And I hope you enjoy the training.
Let's go.
And we got some
Oh,
goodies for you guys at the end, so make sure you stick around. We got some really cool giveaways.
fantastic. All right.
Awesome, guys. Well, hey, I appreciate it. So, Dar, if you're good with it, I'm going to share my screen here.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. So, as Ivan said, we ultimately want to help you drive some business to your pipeline. And being over 20 years in B2B sales, we know a thing or two. We've learned a lot over the years, and we absolutely apply it to our business. Um, what you're really going to learn today is how we currently book 5 to 25 meetings a week on LinkedIn targeting agency business. Okay, this is for ourselves. We also do this for our customers, right? But ultimately we're going to share about how we do it for our agency. Also going to share about what social signals are, how to find hot leads that are interested in your products and services, and what you can do to get them on your calendar. How we integrated LinkedIn and cold email natively in GoHighLevel, right? So we'll talk about that problem that we had to solve and what we did to do it. And then at the end, we're going to share some insider tools, prompts, and some free resources as a thank you to Dar and the great community. So, all right. So who's this for? So this is really for three types of agency owners. First, you currently run cold outreach and you are in the trenches, right? You're in 8 to 12 different systems. You're logging in all over the place and you're trying to deliver a good out experience for your customers. Okay. The second is you want to do LinkedIn and or cold outreach for yourself. And that's what, we're going to give you some tips and tricks around that. But this is also for people that want to do that. And then lastly, you want to create a profit center, as Ivan alluded to. This, believe it or not, you have customers today. If you sell to home services, for example, which I know a lot of people in the GoHighLevel community do, we do as well. But one of the things about that we had an aha moment over a year ago, I think it was a year and a half ago, was we know B2B and we're selling consumer services to these home service companies. Well, guess what? They love commercial business. They want to go out and get more commercial business. So if you
Mhm.
can offer them LinkedIn outreach and you can offer them email outreach, you can increase the average revenue per user that you're charging them. So instead of charging them 200 or 500 or whatever you're charging for your GoHighLevel software, you can add on another 1 to 2,000 a month, because when you get them 10 appointments and they close 2 and they're worth $250,000, you can see why charging them several thousand makes a lot of sense. So
Hey,
that's
Bryan, can I ask you a question real quick about that? And just for clarity?
absolutely.
So most agency owners, a lot of people in the high level agent, they think, oh, if I'm going to go after a plumber or a HVAC or whatever, I think most of them are thinking in terms of, I'm going to help them get more customers, like local homeowners who their air conditioner broke and they call the HVAC company like, I need help right now. And the HVAC company gets more customers. And although that is a need, you're essentially supercharging that because you're saying, yeah, you can do that as well. But with your LinkedIn outreach for your agency helping your customer, you can then help that end user customer, the HVAC customer, target corporate clients that are worth way more than the local homeowner. Is that correct?
That's correct. Yeah. A
Okay.
lot of the home service companies that we sell to, it's
Mhm.
funny, they have the same exact sound bit. It's almost like they're saying the exact same thing, and that's our residential pays the bills, our commercial pads the profits,
Mm.
right? So they're relying on their residential to, for that that business every month, but those big corporate contracts that they get, they're usually 12-month service agreements where if the air conditioner breaks in a mall or, or the plumbing has issues in one of their outlets and one of the rentals within the commercial property, they hire the local plumbers and HVAC and electricians. So
Yeah.
um it's
Okay.
really helps.
Awesome.
There's a direct correlation between business longevity in certain industries and percentage of commercial work that we found.
Mm.
It's really an indicator.
That is a great point that I bet a lot of people don't think about. Right? And so,
Yep.
yeah.
Great. All right. So if you're not aware, HubSpot did a study for 2025. Over the course of 8 years, cost of acquisition is up 222%. There's no question there, right? But the low cost channels that are still the lowest cost of acquisition to acquire a customer is cold email and social outreach. And that's where we play the cold email and the LinkedIn outreach, right? So we do a little bit of Twitter and other things, but or X, right? But ultimately LinkedIn is where your customers are. And there's good reasons for it, right? You really do get high returns if you turn this into a profit center. Cold email, you could command between 500 and tens of thousands of dollars for larger enterprise, right? So we're a medium size. Our average ticket starts at about 5,000. So, you know, what is it? 15, 18 customers, you got $1 million business, right? So it's
Right.
not a lot, right? And then on the LinkedIn side, you could be selling cost per appointment, per lead, or obviously having retainers. So this is lucrative stuff. The reason, so let me just back up. So it's the lowest cost,
Mhm.
right? And you could charge a lot, and there's a reason you could charge a lot, is because the reality is to fulfill these things, there is a lot of moving parts, right? So if you're a marketing agency that does cold email or LinkedIn, you know that you're dealing with 8 to 12 different systems, okay? The data is scattered. You're pulling lists, you're validating emails, you're writing copy, you're scraping profiles, you're in all these different, tools, you're warming up the email addresses. And then once the system is set up, right? So let's say you're doing it the way that we were doing it. The customer starts getting leads. Like you turn on, it's like, great. The customer turns on the leads. And it's like, okay, well, who responded? What did they respond to? What's their title? What's their phone number? Right? Like there's just all this information that's missing, right? So it's not a great experience. And then on top of it, if your DNS records are wrong on your domains, if your cold emails have dashes in the email address, if your copy's not right, your sending volume, like there's all these rules, right?
Mhm.
So it's ever changing. So um we went out and really put some effort in to really figure this out. As I mentioned, Ivan and I both over 20 years, but back in 2020, we started our marketing agency. And ACDC marketing, we started with selling to electricians, right? Not the band. You can see
Clever.
the
Clever.
electric symbol there on the ACDC. And so we were selling to home services. And like I said, we realized and we started GoHighLevel about 4 years ago, right? So we've been paying that $500 price tag ever since, and we love it because we can resell it as our own SaaS. We call ours Conduit. Um, and we started our AI agency at the end of 2022. And as I mentioned, we realized on the home service side that we could sell them commercial work, like going to B2B. But we work with some big names, right? We work with Cradlepoint and Ericsson, Panasonic. Junk Luggers is a large junk removal franchise company we work with. And, we were nominated in 2024 for top 100 AI automation agencies. We've been doing this, and the LinkedIn side, we really honed in on what's going to get the best results for our customers and for ourselves, right? And if you look at the studies, 22% connection rate is the average across 70,000 different companies were surveyed, and 22% was the average connection rate, and 7.22% was the average reply rate. Okay. Belkin's another large player. They said 13 to 23% connection rate, 6.5 to 7.5 reply rate. So just in line with that other study. Here's a look at one of our campaigns from the month of September. You'll see the connection rate, almost 38%, right? But here's where it's really impactful. 39% replies. That is a 5x what the industry average is, right?
Fantastic.
And it's a double the connection rate industry average. And then so this customer, who happens to be a GHL agency owner,
Yeah.
this customer generated 82 conversations they did not expect for the month. This was their first month. Okay. Another agency owner, this was their first month as well. Even better, 203 acceptance, 65%. Okay. That's a
Wow.
3x industry average. And then the message reply rate, 42%, which is a 6x multiple. And then on top of that, we're getting in-mail replies, right? So this was 127 replies that from a campaign that we did for a GHL agency owner. Now let's talk about cold email. So cold email in 2025, there's a ton of opportunity here. It's getting harder. Okay. So you got to know what you're doing in terms of the way you're setting up the infrastructure and how you're sending the emails and what is being said. And the more personalization you put in, the more likely it is you're not going to hit as many spam filters because every email is different, right? But these are some campaigns that we run, where they're saying under 1% reply rate. We had a 1.8% on this one, 8 opportunities, 14% positive reply. But this one was the most exciting. This is another GHL agency owner that has a great product market fit, and we capitalized on that. And we got a 4% reply rate, 92 opportunities the first 4.5 weeks that he was with us, right?
Wow.
92 opportunities. This stuff works. And it absolutely drives business. So we're going to kind of walk you through what our playbook is, right? And what is the foundation of how we get these kind of results on LinkedIn. And I alluded to the email side. We're doing this for cold email as well, but we're going to talk about LinkedIn. We'll give you some resources. All right. So a topic I know near and dear to Dar, your heart right now, is because we're all looking
Yep.
at our LinkedIn profile, how we can make it more magnetic to attract the customer that we want,
Yep.
right? Um, Attracting, I'm not going to spend a bunch of time on like tips of profile creation, but what I can tell you is that it should have a mission of converting. Think of it like a sales page. Like, you want to attract the right prospect. You want to say something that the prospect cares about, not what's important to you. You want to demonstrate that you understand them and their business, and you want to get a call to action. And that call to action should be to go to your website and book a meeting, have a schedule page, and so on. So, a lot of people have profiles that look like this, right? They'll have their title, where they're located, and not much else filled out, right? But when this is an example I found online, but she has exactly what she's doing up here at the top. Here's the website she wants to drive her customer to, and she's got 260,000 thriving students learn code in 3 months, right? Um, Now vibe coding probably eats her business, but that's another story for another day. But bottom line is, she has a good optimized profile that is
Yeah.
driving business somewhere.
Yeah.
So I'm going to talk about a few tips that aren't as well known, right? That can help
Okay.
people real quick. So first off, the verified, um, it's subtle and it's more subconscious, but that verified logo does help, right? So you can
Okay.
fill that out. Um, there's an extra branding opportunity. You can see here, it says the AI sales guy here.
Mm,
That is the pronoun, right? So LinkedIn gives you the ability to put he, him, she, her, they, us, right? So if
right.
you want to do that, feel free. I use it for marketing real estate, right? And so you could go in there and create it and edit it and put whatever you want in there. And
Yep.
then as a result, right next to your name with every message you send, right? So when we're going to talk about the
Look at
DMs, right? The
that.
direct messages, but every message you send, they're going to see your headline, and which I changed my headline from this photo, but um, the headline here is what is here, right? And they
Yeah.
see the pronoun right here, right? Which my pronoun is the AI sales guy. So I'd
No, do you mind
prefer,
if I ask a couple of questions as we
yeah,
go through
please.
this? All right. So I'm going to be transparent with everyone here and let you all know that I have a LinkedIn profile that was set up years ago that I have not been into for years ago. And so I'm going to be a real live case study, guinea pig, and I'm going to put this system to the test. And so we're going to go in and optimize my LinkedIn and start getting not only getting results but sharing them with you all. So we're not just going to have this video one and done. Which, by the way, you guys are sharing some amazing value. But we're going to do updates for people and show them, like, okay, look, Dar optimized your profile with the help of Bryan and Ivan, and here's the traffic we've seen. Here's the results we've seen. Um, so just some, I'll just say, novice questions that I have for you. When you put things like the AI sales guy there, is there a searchability to that, or is that just like a brain to it? So, for example, if I put, the high level guy next to mine, if people are searching high level, does that help in any way? And it may not be relevant, but I'm just curious.
That's a
Or
good
does it just
question.
like show authority?
So it's a good question. I would imagine that the pronoun is not searchable, but if you
Gotcha.
have it in your headline, it is,
Okay.
right? So as you can see, I rewrote it, the AI for B2B sales guy right here,
Gotcha.
and that is searchable, but the pronoun is not.
All right.
So
No worries. We're all learning here, or I should
yeah.
say
It helps
me
with
and a lot of the people who are watching. Okay.
yeah, good branding. I mean, you can see when you get the message, it's very clearly displayed. So
Absolutely. No, it's
you're hitting it
fantastic.
home. You're the high level guy.
Yeah. Yeah, if it says the high level guy, every time you send a message, it'll show up Dar Halsworth, the high level guy.
Okay. All
Yeah.
right.
So, all right, cool. Oh, and then this view my profile, this could be view my profile, book a meeting, check out my website. Like that's a link that will show, it's a custom link. When you have
Mhm.
a premium profile, that's an option where you can edit that, and that'll also show in all your direct messages, and that helps
Okay.
drive traffic as well.
Okay.
Okay. Um, whoops. Uh, and then there's also going to be a free profile optimizer, which Dar, you know about. We could share that on a future call, but the free profile optimizer will be at the end of this as well. That's one of the things that we're gonna do. All right. So AI
So
list building.
just so in case people miss that, because you were just quiet about it, your free optimizer that will help them optimize their LinkedIn page, you're going to give them at the end of this?
Yeah. So what we
Okay.
do is you put in your LinkedIn profile
Uh-huh.
and who your target customer is, and we will send an AI agent to look at your profile, look at your industry, look at what you have on there, and then make direct suggestions on your photo, your headline, everything else based on what we know that makes a good profile and
Okay.
industry research. So it's pretty good.
Very cool. All
Yeah,
right.
it'll write you a new profile based on who you want to target and give you suggestions on images and other things. So, all right, cool. Good question. So AI list building and social signals. So LinkedIn is a wealth of information that I think a lot of people take for granted, right? You know where the person is, obviously their job history, what they do. But when someone takes a certain job, it also talks about really who they are, the type of person they are that they are doing with their life. And then, the activity, the posts, the likes, the follows, connections, right? Those are all good information to take. And then you see who they work for, right? And so the titles, and you can see other decision makers in the industry and the revenue and the type. So there's a ton of prospecting data that we can use to write very relevant copy that will significantly boost your engagement and your conversion rate. Okay. So we take that data and we basically look at how we can, sorry about that. We take
Okay.
that data and we look at how we can turn that into relevant conversations and relevant output. So we're going to talk briefly about LinkedIn itself, like what are the rules, and then we'll talk about kind of how to do it, right? So
Okay.
LinkedIn has some limitations. Um, if you didn't know, Microsoft bought LinkedIn several years ago in a very large acquisition, and after that, less and less filters were available inside the free version, and more of the things that really help us as salespeople went into the paid version. Okay. So if you have a free version, you have limitations on how much you can reach out to them. You don't get information about whether they have an open profile, and you lose the ability to do a lot of connection requests. Okay. So,
Gotcha.
and then This is now, I took this screenshot 3 months ago, so this is probably about 6 months old now. They made a change about 6 months ago where if you don't have a premium account, you can only personalize 5 connection requests. After that, you need a premium in order to do that. Okay. So these are kind of the rules, right? If you have a regular profile, you could send 20 connection requests a day, at 40 if you have a paid account. Okay. You could do 100 a week on regular profiles, 200 a week on a premium. Okay. This open emails 200 a week. This is a rule, and this screenshot is from inside LinkedIn's, help docs. Okay. People don't realize this. So when you have a Sales Navigator subscription, they give you 50 credits a month, and you can roll up to 3 months. So you could have a bank of, say, 150 if you're not using them, right? But why do they say 200 a week to open profiles? People have a little icon that says open profile on their profile. You can actually send them an email for free. It doesn't count towards your 50. So large LinkedIn agencies, people like us and other, entities are sending 800 connection requests and 800 emails to open profiles. So it's a little hack that you can double your volume, what most tools do. Now, to go through 800, find 800 open profiles, it would be a very manual, laborious process, which is another great resource for AI. And we'll show you kind of how to do that, right? You do need Sales Navigator. Okay. You can reach out to us. We'll give you 2 free months. They have a free 30-day trial on their site if you haven't taken advantage. But bottom line is, you do need it, and it is an added cost. But if you're using it, it's well worth the money because you're booking appointments. Now, here's the way that most people book appointments. They'll go into here and they'll build a list, right? And they'll look at the regular stuff, the function, what job are they in, where are they located, what's their seniority, their geography, industry, right? And that's great, but everyone's doing that, right? Where you really need to look at, like, who's posted in the past 30 days. That helps. If you're going this route, that will help you, okay? You want to look at who's active on the platform because they're more likely to accept your connection request if they're active, right? If someone doesn't log into LinkedIn, you could send them as many messages as you want. They're not going to reply.
Yeah.
Right. Connections of, that's another real hack, right? So if you know who the sales rep is for your target custom prospects that you're reaching out to, let's say you have a dream 100 list of 100 people you want to target, right? Companies. You find who the sales reps are or people that have your ideal customer, and you could see all their connections by clicking their name in here, and you could see all their people they're connected to. I did that in a previous role one time. I was selling to Amazon, and I was trying to get meetings with Amazon. I found the sales rep for the competitor, and I got a list of 150 of the perfect customer that I would be targeting at Amazon. And I ended up having to do a training for my entire company because I had figured this out, and I booked an unbelievable amount of appointments from it. So this stuff works, right? This connections. And then finally, when you do build these lists, save them, right? You could save these, and then it'll automatically add to it, and you'll get notified of when new players come into it. Okay. But again, you can't filter in here for open profiles. You can if you have a recruiter account, which is even more expensive than a LinkedIn account, or a Sales Navigator account. But the recruiter account does have that feature. Sales Nav does not, but Sales Nav does unlock the ability to send them. Okay. All right. So what's our lead gen process, right? Like, how do we do this? So we use AI based on several indicators that we're looking for, and that's on the next slide, and I'll share that with you. But we use these to build the lists, right? Then we take data collection. We're going to pull all their data from their LinkedIn profile, all the data from their company's LinkedIn profile, all the data from their company's website. And we're going to aggregate it together, and we're going to use that to craft personalized messages. Now, everyone gets these fake AI messages these days, and they're kind of garbage, right? Hey, I really appreciate you. I really admire you. It's like, you don't admire 5,000 people that you email a day, right?
Yeah.
It's not authentic, right?
Right.
So stay away from the fake compliments and the things that don't sound real. We train our AI to observe. Hey, I noticed that you guys have been doing this for 20 years, and then talk about a pain that your product solves, right? Again, you don't want to talk about you and your product. You don't want to talk about anything. We want to talk about a pain that your product solves, and then the messaging is a low barrier ask to solve one of the small problems that your overall solution solves in a bigger way, right? So LinkedIn outreach, for example, right? LinkedIn outreach is a problem for you probably if you're watching this, right? Here's some ways that you can do that, but then there's a bigger solution, right? And you would do that with some sort of free asset or free, you know, free way to drive that. But social signals, what you can really do with AI, it's pretty amazing, right? So let's say there's an influencer that talks about your products and services problem. Okay. So, you're selling marketing agency services and you follow someone who attracts people that are helping them get leads, right? We could follow all their posts and see all the people who commented and liked and put them into a list automatically. Then we grade that person whether they're a fit for your campaign, because just someone liked or commented doesn't mean that they're a good fit for you to reach out to. Might be your competitor, might be the plumber, might be, whoever, right? So you don't want to necessarily just blindly send them through your campaign. You want to grade them. So first we grade the company. We have criteria of like what does right look like, and we grade the company. If the company passes, then we grade the prospect and their title. Do they have decision-making authority? Are they the right person we want to reach out to? If those two things are true, we're going to use their LinkedIn URL, their profile URL, and we're going to go search and find their email address, their LinkedIn profile, and we're going to do all that data collection, and we're going to write copy for them and send them an email. And we're going to send them a LinkedIn message, and we're going to do all that without touching anything, right? So that's really where the magic is the systemization of this. This used to take, as Ivan said, we've knocked doors, we've cold called, we did the days of manual list building and reaching out. AI has ended that, but you got to do it right. And there's a way to do it. Another way is event participation. Like, an example, we had a customer who, there's a marketing event that had 39,000 attendees. He scraped every single one of those attendees because those people were interested in the types of service that our customer was offering, right? And then all of a sudden we're getting results like that campaign you saw where 65% accept, right? Because you're saying, hey, I saw you attended this event and that you're interested in this. I want to share this free resource with you. And then it opens up the dialogue. The dialogue turns into an appointment. So any questions on this, Dar? Is this valuable or
Yeah, no, I tell you what, it's getting me excited about LinkedIn and kind of making me realize in the back of my head, this is something like that I've been sleeping on and people should not be sleeping on this. And there's probably never been a better time to do it because we're still at the beginning of AI and you were at the very beginning and you've figured this out and combined AI with the what do I say, the best practices on how to use it with LinkedIn. So this is, I'm excited about it.
Awesome. All right. So we shared the marketing mess that is building email and LinkedIn campaigns. And this was our reality, right? It just wasn't a good experience. And that's why we started building a system. And I wanted to kind of frame it up a little bit as to what this really is, right? So our AI outreach OS is what we call this, right? We have a white label version where we're just behind the scenes and you can use this platform to be able to fulfill your cold email and fulfill your LinkedIn campaigns and do all the things that I just shared, right? And so we API with some well-known providers, right? And we put that right into our system and all the campaign data feeds into our AI outreach system. Okay. That campaign data then goes into the individual sub accounts and you can map all the campaigns. So all the replies, everything goes right in there. Okay.
Okay. So really quick, if someone just missed that, When you said sub accounts, you're talking about HighLevel, right? You API directly into HighLevel.
We natively integrated GoHighLevel with LinkedIn outreach and cold email. And
That's
the
amazing.
conversation replies go right into the conversation stream. And we
Are we
also
going to get to
added
see that?
the enrich. What's that?
Are we going to get to see it?
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Okay. All right.
That's icing on the cake, baby.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. This is very cool.
Yeah, and I know we're approaching the time,
No,
so
that's okay. That's okay. I messaged my next meeting and said we're running a little behind, so it's okay. You
appreciate it.
take all the time you need.
All right. So, so this just to give you an idea of like how this all flows through, right? So
Yeah.
I built my campaign. If someone wasn't building campaigns in our system and they're just using what they were using before, they could set it up and never have to go back into that other platform again. Once it's set up, the replies would start coming in, and then the AI would enrich it and suggest some AI replies based on the training data that we give it. And that goes into our AI outreach operating system. And that then connects to GoHighLevel to the individual sub account that campaign belongs to. So we have a marketplace app that you install and you load the individual sub accounts that you want to install it on. And then when you sync your LinkedIn provider and you synced in your cold email provider, all the campaigns come with it. And those campaigns get mapped to the right location. So we're doing this for you, Dar, so you know that your email responses are coming, which you got one right before this, another lead before this call, by the way. Just
Okay. Okay.
timing is
We'll
great.
we'll demo drop it right after this call.
All right. But we created your campaign, we wrote the copy, we did all those things, and then the campaign responses are going right into your conversation stream at GoHighLevel, right? And you can reply to that prospect in the cold email chain. And that's really the magic is you're sending it right through the reply in the conversation stream in GoHighLevel, or you're sending it through the reply through our software. And it goes right back through the chain or the direct message on LinkedIn. Okay, so here's a view of inside GoHighLevel of our software. Now, this looks blurry for a reason that I'm protecting the names of the people, right? So,
Got it.
but you can see here's LinkedIn, here's email, here's their interested. I know their industry, I know their company size, I know their title, their location, and then I have links to their website, their LinkedIn profile for the company, their LinkedIn profile for the person, and then their company summary. What does the company do? Who's their ideal customer? All kinds of enrichment data that you would want to help take an actionable approach to that lead. Speed to lead is the name of the game. Okay. Which leads me to the AI replies, right? So when leads come in, one of the biggest problems we see with B2B customers that we've helped and even ourselves before we were systematized, a lead comes in, if you don't respond to it right away, it goes cold, right? Statistically, you have a better chance of converting it to an appointment if you respond within 5 minutes. And if it's after 30, it goes way down. So we give you an instant reply here. You could get a professional reply, a friendly reply, or a direct reply by right here. Okay. And that's great. But what we can also do is train the data so the AI will automatically reply. We take your first 50 responses and we use that as training data to train the AI of what you typically say on the response and what the customer typically says. And we build what right looks like. So really, really powerful on what that is. Now, let's say, yeah, Bryan, that's great, but I don't want to give my customers access to this. I just want them to reply to the emails. No problem. We could put that right into the conversation stream, and you can see this little LinkedIn icon natively in GoHighLevel, and you can see this little blue arrow flying, paper airplane. That's the cold email, right? And then it'll come right in, and you have outreach email and LinkedIn outreach right natively inside your GoHighLevel account.
This is incredible.
Yeah, and then you can do
Yeah.
all the GoHighLevel. Dar, you know this better than anyone, right? GoHighLevel is an amazing tool. It gets rid of so many other things. It's built for after you have the lead. You've got an ad that drives the lead into GoHighLevel. You have a list that goes into GoHighLevel that you already got the lead, but it's not built for cold outreach. this solves that.
Yeah. Let me add some color real quick too.
Please.
I think something that folks may not realize, they may be thinking, why would we need to automate this? I'm going to tell you why. Because it works so well, you will literally spend every minute of your day or your VA replying to people. And this was another bottleneck that we had to clear in the business. So what
Mhm.
you'll see is if you follow the instructions that, Bryan gave you guys just a little bit ago, you're going to have a bottleneck at some point. You're just going to run out of time. And this is a way to leverage AI to keep the ball rolling and get your time back, really.
Yeah, this is like mind blown. And clearly just in my case, whether it's this or anything else, if you take the time in the beginning to do um, the heavy lifting, and actually, it's not even that heavy for the agency owner because you all have done the heavy, heavy, heavy lifting of building this all out. They just need to get it set up and use it, right? Like you said, just the first 50 replies, make sure that that is the right the voice that they want to have used as it goes out, and then you can even systematize that. It's pretty incredible.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we posted something in the GHL community like shortly after we started figuring this out, and we got a huge influx of people that wanted to solve the LinkedIn problem.
Yeah.
We know this is going to solve a problem for a lot of people. And we wanted to get this right. We just got out of our alpha testing for this. We have custom active agency, GHL agency owners on this that is
Mhm.
working. Obviously, Dar, you're one of them. And they're getting their emails and their LinkedIn responses directly inside of GoHighLevel. So we've officially gone into beta, and we are going to open that up for some people. So there'll be more information on this site, but what we wanted to do for your people, obviously we talked about how to book those meetings on LinkedIn. We talked about what
Mhm.
social signals were, how we integrated natively. In terms of the tools, we do have several free resources for your community. 25 LinkedIn prompts for content strategy and copywriting. So you can literally copy and paste this stuff in with a little bit of information, and it pumps out some pretty amazing outputs. So you'll have that. We also have like a mini course as to how you can set up social signals, like what are the tools, what do you need to do, like how to do that,
Mhm.
and some resources. And of course, if you'd like beta access for our tool, you can go to AIWhiteLabelOutreach.com/DAR. And that is going to be a place for your community where you'll have access to the tools that we just talked about first, and then it'll take you to a page where you'll get access to beta access to our system. So,
Wow, this is incredibly generous of you. I expected that we were going to get on today and you were going to share with people the importance of outreach, email outreach, LinkedIn outreach, going to kind of show them some of the stuff like this. But yeah, these tools, this is a very, very nice bonus for everyone. So whoever's watching this, I would take them up on it right away.
all right.
Subject to availability.
There you go. There you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah, on the beta side, we are looking to take on about 25 customers. So once that's filled up, the button will just disappear, and you can sign up to wait for the next access, the full launch. But it's working very well. We just want to make sure it continues to work very well for everyone involved, and that's why we're just slow rolling it, and we want to make sure that you get what you need from a support perspective as well.
Yeah, this is fantastic. Um, so where do you see this going? What's the future of AI white label outreach in terms of um, agency owners, high level, so forth?
Yeah, we are in the process of building the being able to build the campaigns inside of the system, get lead lists inside the system, and of course, already you could upload a lead list that you get from somewhere else, and it will validate the emails and write the copy, right, for you. Like our customers are able to do that today.
Hmm.
Uh, but what we want to do is list building. So we're in talks with some aggregate data providers.
Hmm.
because we want to make sure it's a good list, right? And that would give you the ability to do everything right there. So you'd be able to get the leads that you want, enrich them, validate that the email is good before you send them anything, write the copy using suggestions from successful campaigns, and ultimately launch the campaign right
You
inside.
know what this reminds me of? And it's funny, these shifts in business. I remember I'm going back maybe 5 years ago, maybe 6 years ago, I was using ClickFunnels. And I was using ClickFunnels and we were building stuff for our clients. We're building, funnels, trying to build websites out of funnels, um, and trying to use their autoresponder to communicate, and just couldn't do what we needed to do. And then I found HighLevel. And now all of a sudden we can do those same things, but we could two-way text in a conversation channel and two-way text and two-way email. And that just opened up our business and what we could do. Of course, HighLevel has just, matured as a platform, as we all know, with the various features that they have. But I think, two-way, people expect two-way text now. But what's one of the next challenges? And it's the things that you're solving right now and integrating them into HighLevel. So now, you can have this two-way communication, but not just on the normal channels, and you don't have to go outside the platform to do the thing. You've brought it in, and I love that.
Yeah, it's so disruptive from a workflow perspective that it was driving us completely insane. We had all these disparate systems and it was operationally very difficult. So we're very happy with the workflow now.
Love it.
Yeah, it's
Well, is there anything else we want to add to this, fellas?
No, I don't think so. We absolutely appreciate you having us on. Just to recap, we built this out of necessity, as Ivan was just alluding to. We absolutely had the problem that we needed to solve, and it was a bad experience for our customers, and that's why we did it. It's
Yeah.
to give a good experience, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, this will help agency owners, and they seem
Yeah.
to want it. So hopefully, you found this valuable, and we appreciate it.
Absolutely. Well, I think you are going to help a lot of agency owners. Thank you for being here today and for sharing this with everyone. Thank you for sharing it with me. We're going to be getting on our LinkedIn optimization tonight, and stay tuned, everyone. I'm going to keep you posted on how this works for me personally. But I would highly, highly recommend you go to the link that that you see on the screen, AIWhiteLabelOutreach.com/DAR. If you're lucky enough to be one of the first 25 beta people, get on it. If not, definitely get on the list, because this is not going away. This is just the beginning of what these guys are doing, and it's really incredible. All right, guys.
Thanks,
Thanks for
everybody.
being here today.
Thanks,
And
Star.
for everyone else, look forward to seeing you on the next show. Stay tuned. There'll be more updates coming from what we are doing with AI White Label Outreach. Take care.
Thank you.
If you're building your business on HighLevel, or even just thinking about it, don't do it alone. Join my free community, AI SaaS Launch, where I share the exact systems and assets that help me scale past 100 customers and build a 7-figure SaaS business. Inside, you'll also get access to my 30-day free trial linked to HighLevel, plus bonus resources, snapshots, and weekly group coaching to help you grow faster. And if you already have a HighLevel account, when you upgrade under my link, you'll still get full access to all of it, the same tools I use every day in my own business. If you'd like me to personally send you a private link to my free community, just leave a comment below, like this video, and I'll reply with a link. It's completely free, and it's where I drop my best AI SaaS tips, resources, and behind-the-scenes trainings. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you on the next one.